Rangers are gearing up for one of the most pivotal and hectic summers in recent memory, with changes looming at every level of the club, from the dugout to the boardroom. There's a sense that a new chapter is being written, and one that could define the future of Rangers Football Club for years to come. As the club braces for an eventual takeover by 49ers Enterprises, the groundwork for a fresh era is already being laid, and the announcements are starting to come thick and fast. While the need for a new manager remains at the top of the agenda, the club has already made a statement move off the pitch that signals a change in direction and ambition. On Wednesday night at a fan forum held at Emerson House Chief Executive, Patrick Stewart confirmed that Rangers will be switching kit suppliers ahead of the next campaign. Starting from the 2025 to 2026 season, Rangers will once again wear Umbro kits, a move that harks back to some of the club's most memorable periods while simultaneously launching a bold new commercial strategy. The decision brings an end to the headline-grabbing partnership with Castore, which began in 2020 and marked Castore's first big step into elite football. Back then, Castore saw Rangers as a gateway into the top tier of global sportswear, and the partnership did offer some rewards. Financially, the club benefited, and the brand's global visibility increased, helping to broaden Rangers' merchandise appeal across international markets. However, it hasn't all been smooth sailing. Supporters raised concerns early in the deal about the quality of the kits and the frustrating lack of stock, especially in the initial stages of the partnership. The feedback was clear. Rangers needed a supplier that could meet both the club's standards and the expectations of one of the most passionate fan bases in football. Now, with the shift to Umbro, there's a sense of coming full circle. Castore will remain involved in the background, having recently secured exclusive rights to manufacture and distribute Umbro's elite performance kits across the UK, Ireland, and other key markets. This means that while Rangers will once again wear the iconic double diamond, the kits will still be produced within the Castore network. For fans, it's a nostalgic return to a brand that was part of Rangers' UEFA Cup final run in 2008 and several title-winning seasons before financial troubles engulfed the club in 2012. More than a kit change, this is about reclaiming an identity on and off the pitch. And that's just the beginning. In another major announcement, Rangers confirmed that Kevin Thelwell will become the club's new sporting director. At 51 years old, Thelwell brings experience, credibility, and a track record in both English and American football. He is currently serving as director of football at Everton, though he was already expected to depart that role at the end of the season. Rangers have been without a sporting director since Ross Wilson left for Nottingham Forest in 2023, and the process to fill that gap began as early as February. The appointment of Thelwell wasn't a rushed decision. CEO Patrick Stewart, along with consultancy firm Sportsology and 49ers technical director Greta Steinson, were deeply involved in the recruitment process. The mandate was clear. Find someone with deep footballing knowledge, proven leadership, and the ability to oversee all football operations. From the men's first team to the women's squad and the academy, it reflects a wider strategy to align every part of the football operation under one coherent vision, a model commonly adopted by top clubs across Europe. Thelwell certainly ticks those boxes. He previously worked as sporting director at Wolverhampton Wanderers and held a senior role at New York Red Bulls, giving him experience across different football cultures and structures. His arrival marks a return to the sporting director model that Sportsology had advised earlier this year, one that promises more strategic planning and less reactive decision-making in terms of recruitment and development. Speaking about his new role, Thelwell didn't hold back on the weight of responsibility that comes with working at a club like Rangers. He called it a huge honor and emphasized how clear the club's ambitions were from the very first conversations. He acknowledged the magnitude of the club's stature, its global reach, and the passion of the supporters. But above all, he knows what's expected. Rangers need to win. Full stop. And he's under no illusions about the scale of the task ahead. There's already a strong foundation, he said, but important work lies ahead, especially in shaping the future of the men's first team. With Barry Ferguson currently in charge as interim manager following the dismissal of Philippe Clement in February, Thelwell's immediate priority will be identifying and appointing a permanent successor to lead Rangers into this new era. The season may be effectively over following elimination from the Europa League at the hands of Athletic Bilbao, but behind the scenes the real work is just beginning. It's a time of massive transition for Rangers, and while change doesn't happen overnight, there's genuine optimism that the right pieces are falling into place. The message from Ibrox is clear. The club is no longer content with standing. Still, from the restructuring of the boardroom to the appointment of experienced football minds, everything is being geared toward restoring Rangers to the summit of Scottish football and making a sustained impact in Europe. Yet despite all the talk of strategy and structure, it all comes down to what happens on the pitch. And for that, recruitment will be key. Thelwell, alongside the future manager, will be tasked with identifying and bringing in the right players to not only challenge but surpass Celtic across the span of a full season. It's an area where Rangers have faltered too often in recent years, showing flashes of brilliance in one-off matches but lacking the consistency needed to mount a serious domestic title charge. The summer ahead will be critical. The combination of a new manager, a new sporting director, and potentially new ownership under the 49ers. Enterprises means the club is heading into uncharted territory. But for the first time in a long time, there's a sense of alignment, a shared vision from top to bottom. And with that comes hope. Rangers fans have been here before with promises of change and new beginnings. But this time, it feels different. There's a seriousness to the moves being made, a deliberate strategy replacing the reactive chaos that has so often defined the club's recent past. Whether it all pays off remains to be seen, but one thing's for certain, the next few months will shape the future of Rangers Football Club in ways no one can yet fully predict. But for all the movement behind the scenes, none of it will mean a thing if Rangers don't get it right on the park. That's where it always counts, where legacies are forged and where pressure truly bites. Kevin Thelwell knows this, so does everyone inside Ibrox. They're not bringing in structure for the sake of optics. They're doing it because the football hasn't been good enough, not consistently, not when it's mattered most. And with Celtic riding high once again, Rangers can't afford another false dawn. The failure to land silverware this season stung, but it also revealed the scale of the rebuild ahead. Not just in terms of playing personnel, but also in mentality. Too many players in the current squad have come up short when the pressure was on. There have been moments of defiance like the gutsy performance against Real Betis away or the fight back in the Viaplay Cup semi-final. But overall, this season has exposed the fragility of a side that too often played within itself. Rangers need leaders. They need players who can handle the demands that come with playing for a club where every draw feels like a defeat and every defeat sparks crisis talk. The spine of the team needs strengthening. Questions surround the future of key players, and Thelwell will have to move quickly to decide who's part of the solution and who isn't. Players like Connor Goldson, James Tavernier, and Borna Barisic have been mainstays for years, but time catches up with everyone. Are they still the right pillars for the next era, or has that time passed? Then there's the issue of recruitment. Rangers' track record in recent windows has been hit and miss. For every solid signing like Jack Butland or Abdallah Sima, there have been gambles that didn't pay off, whether due to injuries, inconsistency, or simply not being up to the level required. The scouting network needs refining. The profile of player must change. The days of taking punts on untested talents in the hope they turn into stars must give way to a more deliberate, data-informed approach. Rangers need players who can contribute immediately, not projects who might be ready 2 years down the line. This is where Thelwell's experience in both the Premier League and MLS could prove crucial. He understands how to build a squad with balance. He knows the value of physicality, versatility, and footballing intelligence. And perhaps more importantly, he knows that in Glasgow there's no patience for lengthy rebuilds. The fans demand results, and they demand them now. It's a unique pressure one he seems fully aware of. His success or failure will hinge not just on identifying talent, but on matching it to the demands of the club's unique footballing culture. But of course, he won't be working alone. The appointment of a new manager is the next major domino to fall, and that decision will say a lot about the direction Rangers want to take. Do they opt for experience, Someone who's been there, done that, and can bring immediate authority? Or do they take a more progressive route, a younger coach with modern ideas and long-term potential? It's a delicate balance. Get it wrong and you're back to square one by Christmas. Get it right, and you might just ignite something special. The manager and sporting director will need to be in lockstep. Recruitment plans, training methods, tactical philosophy. It all has to align. That's been one of Rangers' big problems in the past. Too many times managers have come and gone, each with different ideas, different targets, and no continuity. This time, the club seems intent on creating a structure where the identity outlives any one person. That's what Thelwell is here to help. Spilled. A footballing identity that's unmistakably Rangers, no matter who wears the armband or stands in the technical area. Meanwhile, off the pitch, things continue to evolve. The 49ers Enterprise's anticipated takeover is still shrouded in some uncertainty, but the signals from both sides suggest it's not a matter of if, but when. And when it happens, it could revolutionize the club's approach to business branding. And infrastructure. The American influence will likely bring new ideas, new technologies, and perhaps even new markets. But it will also require a delicate touch, because Rangers are not just a football club. They're a cultural institution deeply rooted in Scottish identity, tradition, and history. Balancing modernization with heritage is never easy. Fans are fiercely protective of what makes Rangers unique, and rightly so. Any changes must respect that heritage, not trample on it. That's why the Umbro deal has landed well. It connects with the past while pointing to the future. The challenge for the 49ers group will be to build on that kind of sentiment, creating a Rangers that's both modern and unmistakably true to itself. And let's not forget the academy. For years, Rangers have talked about producing more homegrown stars, but the pathway hasn't always been clear. There have been success stories, Nathan Patterson most notably, but too often promising talents have either stalled or left for opportunities elsewhere. That has to change. The club needs to become a place where young players not only break through but thrive. Thelwell will oversee the entire footballing structure, and the academy will be a big part of that. It's not just about winning now. It's about creating a conveyor belt of talent that can sustain success for years to come. As the summer nears, the scale of the task becomes even clearer. There are contracts to resolve, gaps in the squad to fill, and a title challenge to prepare for. Celtic won't be standing still. They've built a squad capable of grinding out results week after week, and until Rangers can match that consistency, the title will remain just out of reach. It's not enough to beat them once or twice a season. The challenge is to outlast them, to stay mentally and physically sharp from August to May. But if there's one thing Rangers fans have always had, it's hope. And right now it is more reason to believe than there has been in some time. The pieces are being moved. The vision is becoming clearer. For the first time in years, it doesn't feel like short-term fixes are being slapped on long-term problems. Instead, there's a sense of strategy, of purpose, of accountability. This won't be an easy rebuild. Mistakes will still be made. Not every signing will be a hit. Not every result will go the right way. But if the structure is right, if the values are aligned and the vision is followed, then Rangers can rise again. Not just to compete, but to dominate, to build something lasting, to write a new chapter that future generations will point to as the moment the club found itself again. The pressure is on. The spotlight never fades, but maybe, just maybe, the storm is clearing, and in its place, the foundations of something stronger are being laid brick by brick. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. In a move that has sent shockwaves through Scottish football, Rangers have pulled off one of the most unexpected and controversial signings in recent memory by announcing the arrival of REO HATATE. The Japanese midfielder, who has been a key figure at Celtic since his arrival from Kawasaki Frontale, now finds himself crossing the bitter Glasgow divide in a transfer that will be talked about for years to come. HATATE, known for his technical prowess, vision, and tireless work rate, was a fan favorite at Celtic Park. His performances in the green and white hoops helped the Hoops dominate domestically, and he played a vital role in several memorable Old Firm clashes. That's precisely what makes this move so explosive. It's not every day you see a player switch sides in one of football's fiercest rivalries. The deal, kept tightly under wraps until the last minute, was confirmed this morning in a short statement from Rangers. Fans were left stunned, with social media erupting into a frenzy of disbelief, jubilation from the Ibrox faithful, and outrage from the Celtic side. It's a bold move by the Rangers board, one that shows they're willing to push boundaries to regain dominance in Scottish football. HATATE's decision is sure to spark debate. Some will label him a traitor, others will praise his bravery and ambition. But one thing is clear, his presence at Ibrox adds undeniable quality to Philippe Clement's squad. Whether he's able to win over the Rangers supporters and replicate his Celtic form remains to be seen. But if he does, he may well go down as one of the most daring and defining signings in recent Scottish football history. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.